Okay, welcome back. This is chapter 3. We are looking at how to work with variables in Kotlin. So let's try to comment things out. Let's try to document this. So we shall say working with variables. So when we talk about a variable, we are particularly interested to talk about some container, a logical container that carries data at runtime. So it carries and stores this data at runtime, though other languages might have declaration of the data types. We have as well to declare that this is going to be a variable. Then you have to attach a data type to it. Kotlin does its things in slightly different way. So just like Java, you realize that it will have to declare, have to make a declaration that this is a variable using a keyword of val or val. So these are two keywords that represent variables, val and var. So when you say a val and we say name, then we are storing inside that variable, we are storing something there. We can say we are storing a name, Damian. So it means that you realize that I might not put a semicolon, might leave it, because Kotlin will identify that this is the end of the line. So unless you are coding continuously on one line, okay, that's when we can possibly use the semicolon. But for now, we just use we just leave it and we go to the next line. So if you want to have this, that variable is different from val name, and the val name has Sserunkuma. So if we have two variables, one is Damian and the other one is Sserunkuma. So this one, variables, this is a variable, this is a variable name, and this is a value that is stored inside the variable name. So when you're having these two values, this kind is what we call a read only. So this is read only, meaning it cannot change. It cannot change at runtime. You cannot change this value at runtime. Though this one, for it is what we call mutable. It's a mutable variable. It can change at runtime. So these are some of the things that we need to get adapted to when we are dealing with Kotlin. Meaning when you use this variable val num, this can change. The value can change at runtime. But the moment I try to change this, it's not going to be possible. So initially I have val name. So when I am to use name again, I might not need the word val again. So I say val, okay. Let me just say maybe this is names and name, okay. So I'm referring to this name. So name, val name is going now to have the name Daniel. Okay, so let us call val and we see what it holds. So we shall print, and then we say we want to print name. What do we have in name? Save changes and run your code. So we have Daniel. It means that it has not brought Damian because it's at runtime. Okay, but the moment I say Damian names is now, at first I declared it as Sserunkuma. Now I'm assigning it as Daniel. Let us save changes and we see the impact. Run your code, and we expect an error. Okay, so it says val cannot be reassigned because it has already been used as val. Val is not a mutable variable. Val is used for read only. Okay, just like you can have a constant in other languages. Okay, so when you use the word val, that one declares a variable as a read only. You cannot have changes to it. Okay, so looking at that, let's now consider this, which is mutable, the one that can change. Okay, so when we have this, can have this line of, okay, so we have our nice program like that. So it means that now this variable, I'm not simply calling Damian, otherwise I would say val print instead of I would say Damian, because Damian is already up there. It has been called up or declared and initiated. So you can say print Damian, comma, your second name is name. Okay, so we expect this name to be captured from that, right? But Damian, we want this to be text, so we have to enclose, because it's actually a string. So we shall say the whole of this just do away with that and say full colon. We shall say Damian, comma, your second name is, okay, then we call name. But looking at it, when you write it like that, it might not have a proper syntax. In Java can help you to do that. In Java it is acceptable, because there you are using plus as a concatenation character. A concatenation character is a character that blends or bonds a variable plus the text or a string. So to be able to bond the two, we can use the plus. In Java it is also allowed, but we can adapt to the syntax of Kotlin. Let's run our code. Let's see. Okay, we expect our code to run well. Damian, your second name is Daniel. So Daniel, where is it getting Daniel from? It is getting Daniel because I have plus name, and name has already been initiated to the word Daniel, much as it has been firstly it was declared and defined or initiated to Damian, but the second time Daniel came in and overwrote, the overwriting of Damian was done to replace it with Daniel. So when it is printing out, it is going to print out, print Damian, your second name is whatever that we have in Damian, in name currently, which is Daniel. So that's why we have our output as Damian. Your second name is Daniel. Daniel comes from there. Okay, but if we had commented this out, meaning it's not going, that line is not going to execute, so it's going to adapt to Damian instead. So save changes and run our code. Let it build and compile. Okay, so we have Damian. Your second name is Damian, so Damian comes from that. The Daniel was commented out, that means it's not going to be executed. Okay, and it just brings it this out. How about doing it in a Kotlin way? Okay, you can have it as enclosed in there. Okay, and we say hash, is it hash? No, $, and then we enclose in braces there, and we say name. Okay, so this one can be redone like that. Okay, so that is the Kotlin way of doing things. So save changes, Ctrl S, and then run our code. So we expect our code to rebuild, and it's still okay. Why? Initially it has been like this. Let me just copy it there and paste it down here. So initially, instead of writing like that, initially it was written like this in Java, purely Java. Like I said, Kotlin still adapts to the settings because it's part of Java, so it still takes on the coding of Java. So you can write it like that in Java format, or you can write it like that in Kotlin format. Okay, so whichever way will still work for you, as long as you maintain the syntax of the language, it will still work for you properly. However, when you are in concatenating it in this way, you have to ensure that the plus is not enclosed inside the quotations. The plus is taken out to concatenate a variable plus the text. So in case of I just want to print line, okay, and then we have the print. In case of I want the text to change it as Damian. Your second name is Sserunkuma. So I'm not going to change the rest of the code. I'm just going to change the name to be initiated to variable name. So the save changes made and run my code. I expect this to read as Damian. Your second name is Sserunkuma. Okay, so there it is. You realize that both are referencing the same variable, and they are bringing the system is bringing me the readings the way I expected it to be. So that is a variable to deal with the text and the use of the concatenation character. Okay, now I want us to look at another way of writing or working with the variables. This working of the variables is going to basically look at how do we manipulate figures with variables. We can have a variable number 1. Okay, so number 1, we are going to initiate it to maybe 20, and then we have another variable num2, we initiate it to 30. Then we have another variable which is going to be our sum. Sum is going to have a number 1 plus number 2. Okay, then we shall say we shall have something to do with we to help out in the computation, and we shall say print the value, the total of we want variable 1. Okay, want to pick that. Remember, you're enclosing it in full quotation. You have to start with the $sign. So we are saying pick something from number 1. We want the value in number 1, and the total of that, and what, and dollar, you enclose it in brackets, number 2. Yes, the system should read the total of 20 and 30 is what? Is, and then we get the sum. Okay, so is $sum. But dollar, then you have to enclose it in brackets, curly braces, and then say sum. So this statement is kind of readable. It is properly understandable, and when we save changes, we want to add 2 figures together, and then tell the person that the product, the total of 20 and 30 is the sum. So where is it getting the 20? 20, it is referencing from number 1. Num1 has been initiated to a 20. And num2 has been initiated to a 30. Then compute the 2 and then get me the sum. Sum is there and it is computed. It is computing num1 plus num2. Save changes and then run the code. So the system builds it and compiles it, and we have to get the results there. So it says the total of 20 and 30 is 50. So we expect our code, the dollar, curly braces, and then you put a variable, and dollar, curly braces, you put a variable name, is dollar, curly braces, and then you put the sum. So it means that this statement is making reference of the variables declared up here. Okay, and then it returns this statement, the total of 20 and 30 is 50. So in case I wanted to make changes from our program, I'm not going to change this. All I need is to change the values. This time it is 80, and having this as 450. Okay, so let's see, we expect the system to be able to compute as expected, to give us the total of 80 and 450 is 530. So you realize that now the system program works well. It's just a matter of substituting these figures, and the figures are initiated into the variables, and the variables will actually execute as expected. That is the use of variables. I hope that you are okay with the use of variables and how we initiate variables and we store data to a variable and we push it out through the console. Please subscribe to the channel, like it, and share these videos. Thank you. We are going in for the use of list, or what we call arrays. the on. Thank you.